Hello guys, this is FlashX007, and today I'll be reviewing the 1:144 scale high-grade universal sentry, Sazabi. And without further ado, let us get to Char's last mobile suit. Okay, and basically what I want to do first is discuss the details and proportions using the new Gundam as a comparison. So first off, for the proportion and height, the Sazabi is somewhat taller than the new Gundam, but overall they're both the same high-grade universal sentry models, so the Sazabi in no way should be like freakishly huge. At first, when I unboxed it, I thought it would be huge in size, but instead, it is huge in size, but only in width. So basically, it's more like a thick or fat type, but it's not necessarily tall. But that's not a bad thing. It definitely is pretty cool. It's just I expected something different. But again, comparing it right now with the new Gundam is slightly smaller, or the Sazabi is slightly taller, and that's basically it. Now for the detail, some parts are freakishly huge, so there won't be as much detail, especially on the front shield right here. Not as much detail as you would expect, and that's a given. However, this thing is pretty well detailed, especially on the inner frame pieces like the hands and the neck chain right there. The new Gundam was molded in gunmetal gray, and the same was done for the Sazabi, so there's one thing to look forward to. And another thing would be that this thing has a ton of thrusters hidden everywhere, so if you go back and decide to customize it, it's also a great project. So it is definitely one of the top best high-grade universal sentry models that anybody can get. So that's basically it for that. And I hope that concludes the details and proportion review section. If you have any questions, feel free to Okay, and here we go with the details and proportions section of the review, and what I want to do here is use the new Gundam as a reference or a comparison. And first off, what I would like to note is that this Sazabi is not like incredibly tall. It's just rather thick or wide for its standard high-grade size that you would expect. And that's because of the overall design. So when I unboxed it, I thought it would be freakishly huge, but no. Overall, the pieces are huge, but that's just because it has more of a wider design than the new Gundam, which is sleek and thin. So basically, you can necessarily say that the Sazabi is fat, but it'll probably kill you in battle if you decide to do something like that. Just joking. But anyways, for other references, in terms of detail, you would think that it would lose detail, or it wouldn't have as much detail, because some pieces are big. However, you're quite mistaken, because it has a lot of hidden thrusters, for example. That's one note, and they are pretty well detailed. And also, the inner frame is molded in gunmetal gray, and the new Gundam was molded in the same color. So that's pretty good, and especially if you decide that you don't want to customize it and that you're too afraid and that you just want to be a snap builder, it's definitely a good shelf display piece. But overall, I would say try your hand at customizing it, because it wouldn't hurt. But basically, pretty much the detail and proportions are top-notch. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I kind of like the hands, to be honest, because they are slightly bigger than the average high-grade hands. And that's actually pretty cool. So that's basically it for this. So let us move forward with the rest of the video. Okay, so for articulation, there's so much to discuss, but I really want to compact it and just go over the major things that I think was interesting. I'm not going to go over the standard hand, arms, legs, or this or that. It's all standard. In fact, let me just go over it real quick. That's how far the arm moves. So it's slightly higher than 90 degrees, and that's pretty well done. So there is no handicap on the articulation there. You can definitely pose the heck out of it. It just depends on what you want to do with it. And also the back skirt kind of does get in the way, but that is not a problem for the foot whatsoever, or the leg. That's how far it moves back. And necessarily you don't need it to move that far back. And if you do, just grab an action base and do that and see. That is why the back skirt moves that far back. That's pretty much it, so no need to go over anything else besides that. Another thing that I would want to go over now is the major parts. And the first major part would be the neck. Let's say you wanted to move it farther back for the neck. You can push that forward, and you'll be reviewing the neck piece right there. Basically, what that makes it look like is it's looking upward, and that's pretty cool of a design. The next would be, if you don't want that, you can push it back down, and the neck will go back to normal levels. And another thing would be that once you remove this, it is removable. You can move this mono-eye sensor piece any way you want, left or right, to adjust your angle. And if you want to adjust it according to a pose, it is manageable, so that's pretty cool. And that's pretty much it for the head. So what else I would want to go over right now would be the back. The back piece is actually pretty cool. The thrusters, well, actually these aren't thrusters, these are propane tanks. So they move like propane tanks, and just like I said in the high new, make it move to whatever angle makes sense. I generally keep mine straight like this, so that's what I do. And also another thing would be the thruster right here. You can move it up and down. That's pretty much it. But that's pretty cool for detail wise. And again, like I said, there is a lot of detail on this. The last thing I would want to note is the binders, and they move left and right, up and down, so any way you want, any kind of angle. And if you want them to display the funnels, you push this up first, and then you bend them open, and that is how you reveal the funnel pieces right there. So basically, if you really want it to look like it's about to shoot out its funnels, you can make it look like that in terms of any pose you want. It just depends on your preference. Or if you want to remove them and apply already attacking funnels, you can probably put it in there. I haven't tried. I don't see any point. But you know what? I'll try on video now. So basically, let us attempt just to ease my conscience. Hold on. Okay, so basically, yeah, I don't think it works. What I think is required is separate effect pieces for it to apply, and this is how thick the piece right there is. I'm not sure why it's not working. However, I have a high-grade Farcia. I will just remove the bit effect pieces and use them for the funnels right here if I ever decide to do so. So it's handy that you have other models in your collection, because you never know when something's useful. Like the Farcia is stuff that holds the little flower bits together, and on the little teapot, that is what I call that, the stand that it stands on. But I am going really off topic here, so that is not cool. So let us move forward with the weapons. I hope the articulation part was useful, but anyways, we're moving on to the weapons. If you want any final thoughts on the articulation, it's very articulate. There's no questions asked, so although it looks bulky and big, it definitely does support its weight. So basically, this is the shield that we're moving on to, and it only comes with 2 markings, one right there, one right here. So if you decide to customize it, you don't even need to save them. It's pretty simple. You can definitely mask this on. That's what I plan on doing when I go back to customize it. I just put it on right here for placement reasons, to get an idea of where I should place my masking tape when I go back to customize it, because I need to get an idea of where to apply it. So if I just apply the masking tape and paint it on, there's no going back and fixing it. So unfortunately, yeah. But anyways, this is the shield, and here's the back, and you can actually hide a weapon in here. So basically, let's just remove that for now. And basically, it reminds me of the new Gundam shield, especially with the missile hidden right here. And that's pretty much it. So if you want to apply it, there's a little peg for it right there on the forearm. So you just apply it like so. Let me just line it up, and there we go. Shield has been applied, and that's pretty much it for that. The next thing would be the rifle. And let me see if I can get it on the camera. Yep, we can. And basically, the rifle is pretty well designed. I am a fan of the rifle. It has such an original, unique design to it that I really like it. It looks pretty much awesome. And in terms of rifles, you don't need anything dynamic or cool or epic looking. Anything original or unique like this that can be called a rifle confidently. So I'm pretty happy they designed something so simple and unique like this. To me, it looks very original, and it looks very rifle-like, because I've seen some rifles from the Gundam Age, for example, and those are just like cool versions of rifles, but you never really need that kind of look. But anyways, here he is posed with the rifle and shield on. And basically, the trigger finger hand was already applied on the rifle, so basically I just switched out the hands, and that's what I did. So moving forward with the rest of the weapons, it comes with 2 beam saber handles that you see right here, and it also comes with little beam saber axe right here, or beam saber. And what you do for this is, if you decide to make it into a beam saber, you apply this effect piece and it is an effect piece because look at the detail right there. So that's pretty cool. Or he can turn it into an axe. And basically there is no side preference. You can do it to the left or to the right. Up to you what you want to do. That's pretty much it. So that's it for that. And the remaining option would be the little funnels. And basically I already went over them. I don't know what to say really. I don't really know how I could pose them on there. I mean, I don't know why I said that in a weird way right now, but I haven't really messed with it that much necessarily because I don't really think it requires me to display these. It looks cool as is. So that's one thing I like about the Sazabi. Okay, so for my final thoughts, I really want to wrap it up because I might have gone farther than my anticipated minutes. But basically, the Sazabi is rather an awesome high grade, and it's probably the best high grade that I have in my collection. Because right now I'm still building up my Universal Century collection, but for the most part, I really do enjoy the Sazabi, and I'm glad that it came to my collection, and I really love it. And basically, I have a new Gundam Verka, so what I do is I set it up on an action base, and I display it next to that new Gundam Verka, and it looks awesome, definitely. Even if it's a high grade, it can really manage off its looks, so just pop on an action base and go crazy. It will pull it off, and it'll look pretty cool. So I end it there. And if you want some poses or some pictures of it, check out my blogs. I will be doing blog versions of the like picture reviews on the blog that I have, which might be in the links in the description, so definitely check that out. But anyways, I'm cutting it short for now. I don't know how long the video was. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is FlashX007 signing out, and my next video might or might not be the Verka, so let us look forward to that, shall we?